collusion between service providers and officials, with separate invoices generated for similar amounts on the same day or within short time frame. We have, of course, uncovered extensive corruption. The investigation reveals a pattern of corruption by officials and service providers, significantly undermining the intended purpose of allocated funds. A sound procurement process typically includes a purchase request form, fair vendor selection, and adherence to the Central Supplier Database guidelines. However, the SIU found that these protocols were circumvented, allowing for further irregularities and concealment of supplier identities. The SIU findings indicate severe breaches of trust and authority within the department and Tembisa Hospital's operations, including fronting and, as we indicated, syndicated activities. In summary, a standard request for quotation procurement process involves the following steps. This is really just high level. You can read in the report where the details are. It involves a purchase request. This form outlines the available budget, required items, and estimated unit price, and must be signed by the end user and authorized by the CEO. Number two, submission to supply chain management. The completed form is sent to the SCM section, which handles the distribution of RFQs, evaluation, adjudication, and recommendation for service providers. Key documents in this process would include, amongst others, the following: RFQs and bid documents. Each bid should include quotation, relevant CIPC documents, director identifications, and so on. In this investigation, all of what, in fact, most of what was submitted were fraudulent. This is what the investigation picked up. Now, in the report, you'll also see that we depict the procurement process overview, which would include the purchase order and composition of the procurement bundle. There is what's called the transit office. The transit office receives all delivered goods and issues some purchase order. Goods are categorized as either store deliveries, items like toilet paper and bandages, or direct deliveries, specific items for certain wards, right? And then receiving store items, receiving direct deliveries, procurement conclusion. But this process, we're stating it as a required process, but it was circumvented in this case. Right. In any procurement process, there would be losers, called unsuccessful bidders. But evidence and our investigators uncovered that the unsuccessful bidders also were part of this scheme. So they would have been requested to submit quotations through these syndicates, but they would know already that they're not going to get it, and that when they don't get it, they get paid. So the SIU identified various links between the winning bidders and the unsuccessful bidders through electronic money transfers, shared directorships, and collusion amongst family members, etc. To date, the SIU has been able to identify patterns to the combined value of more than 1 million, which were made directly or indirectly on behalf of the successful bidders or the syndicates to the unsuccessful bidders who purportedly competed against the unsuccessful service providers. Right. The actions of SCM and relevant authorities as required. The CEO of Tembisa at the time authorized the appointment of non-compliant bidders, raising questions about the lack of oversight. SIU referred 25 matters to the South African Health Products Regulatory Authority, called SAPRA, relating to the contravention of the legislation related to the Medicines and Related Substance Act. And amongst others, we have already referred matters to the National Prosecuting Authority, even during this investigation at this interim stage. As I indicated already, NPA and the Asset Forfeiture Unit are already taking action. They are collaborating with the SIU team, the Hawks. The Hawks is already investigating as well. So to date, SIU has referred about 4 matters to the National Prosecuting Authority for corruption involving the officials at the Tembisa Hospital and implicated service providers of Tembisa Hospital. These service providers that have been referred to NPA at this stage, there's more that will be referred. The value thereof is more than 42 million. The value thereof is more than 42 million. Right. As I indicated, we as SIU and the Asset Forfeiture Unit, we will be working hard to ensure that we recover the monies that the department or Tembisa Hospital has lost. We'll recover it from the officials that are involved. We'll recover it from the service providers. So, as I indicated, to date there's about 116 referrals for disciplinary action to be instituted. We have referred these matters to the department for action to be taken. I need to indicate We need to ensure that there's monitoring of these referrals and to ensure that action is taken. So these referrals will also be sent to the Minister of Health to monitor and ensure that disciplinary action is taken against this official. The officials and their levels, as I indicated, are itemized in the interim report. Because of the time, I will not go into one by one. As I said, I requested the list to be printed so that you can see. The highest level paid to an official it's in the region of 28 to 30 million corrupt payment to an official, and the others range from various amounts. So you can really see that the extent of the collusion with the service providers was really immense. And we are really pleased at this stage that we have really taken this action. From the time it started through the Office of the Premier with the investigation under the proclamation, the observation, although not determinative at this stage, the observation is that we may have stopped this scourge of corruption at this hospital. But then